Okay, guys, everything's taken care of. I had to do some stuff here to calm things down. All right, we are back. I'm just gonna wait for you guys to fill on in. Sorry about that. Got that stuff taken care of. I am sorry about that. The first problem I'm kind of thinking wasn't my fault. I thought I hit the finish button, but I'm thinking I didn't hit the finish button. I think that we are pulling in a lot of spirits with all the questions you guys are asking. I know there's lots of questions I didn't get to that I kind of want to go back. I'm going to look at the questions here that you guys left me, see if I can't go back, and I'm going to do it on my computer, so we're going to do it that way. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. We had a lot of spirit going on. It just shut me down. I think that it was either too overwhelming or we had something dark trying to infiltrate, and they took care of it for us. I'm going to try to go back here. I'm getting a lot of messages too. My phone's kind of blowing up. Okay, let me keep going here. I think I'm going in the wrong direction. Let me see. Let me go all the way to the bottom here. Oh, somebody had asked, do your main guides always stay with you till your death? Yes, that is a big yes, Benita. Rod, this is not the healing session. You want to go back and check the original one that says energy healing. It will say energy healing. John, yeah, I am having some problem. They don't want me to ask questions. You should be good now with asking questions. We kind of had some issues. I think that we had some dark kind of infiltrating to hear on some of the... I usually have protection around the room. Tracy, how'd you know? That's pretty funny. What are you, psychic, Tracy? Okay, I'm gonna try to, I feel like I've seen these ones. I feel like I'm going in the wrong direction. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out what your questions were. Guys, if you have, Crystal, thank you. If you guys have questions that you guys were asking on this, on the last live feed, please don't hesitate on asking them again. Let's see. Okay. Okay, you look like I've seen these. Okay. Do you go to the website for tattoo readings? Georgie, I haven't done tattoo readings in a long time. Rod, there is a lot more chakras than 13. The 7 main ones are the ones that people are used to, but there is a ton of chakras that you can get to know that are on a deeper basis, that are all through your body, like triggers. Amy, yes, you're going to have more than one guide that's named Jane. I really appreciate you. Colleen, that's awesome. I appreciate you guys too. Okay, I saw that. I saw my grandma the first time I cried. Georgie, that's awesome. Okay, I saw that question. Phelan, I saw that question. I feel like I'm missing something here, guys. Okay, I looked at all these, I think. I feel like I'm missing ones, though. Alright. Am I doing the right thing on November? Okay, I'm not doing any kind of readings tonight, guys. This is going to be a question and answer. Can meditation help me control my fibromyalgia pain? Robin, there is so much more that you can do than just meditation for fibromyalgia. Inbox me, I'll give you a list of stuff. Farrah, I would love that right now. Candace, same thing with you if you're having some fibromyalgia problems. My mom has fibromyalgia, so I've kind of made it like my goal to help people with fibromyalgia. She herself might not take my advice, but I know others will. I never actually came to her with what I know will help. Maybe someday. But I know a lot of you could benefit from what I can help you with the fibromyalgia. I'm not sure if you answered mine in the first area. I purchased your your guide meditation and didn't get a name, but I kept seeing a black bear. Patty, it's okay if you don't get a name, if you don't get to see them right away. It's a process. Not everybody is going to be at a level where they're going to be accepting of what's being shown to them, but the fact that you got something, period, is a major breakthrough, and I would just keep going with that. If you got a black bear, that means it's your spirit animal. My question was, what made my dog get so sick so quickly and die? Diana, that's a medium reading. We're going to get with that later. I'm not doing that on live feed. This is a question and answer thing, honey. I had asked, what is better, selenite or Himalayan pink salt tower? We have found that we get nightmares. Himalayan's more for health. Selenite's more for dream. Having both in your room, because I do have both in my room, they help either way. The Himalayan is to rid any kind of toxins in your house or your bedroom. So that, say for example, you get a flu, it kind of cuts back on the spreading of germs. Exactly, Farah, it will come. It will come. What powerful spiritual books on self-help and healing, etc. do you recommend? Spiritual books on self-love and healing? Oh, actually I have a good one. Let's see if I have it. Oh, let me look at my books here. If I have it, let me see. Okay, I don't have it here, but the author, I'm actually going to type his name in. Okay, I'm going to type his name in. Okay, so let me go on the feed that you guys are on now, and I'll type it in for you. His name is Paul Selig, and he's a channeler. For self-love book. I think it's his second book. You are going to get headaches with his books. It's just like when I work with my guides. You can't get, like, if you read one of his chapters, you can't get to the second chapter without absorbing the first one, because it'll start to get very confusing. It's almost like you start reading the first chapter and you're like, oh, okay. You get the first chapter and then you get to the second one and you're like, what just happened? Like, why can't I understand anything? That's because your guides are taking you in sections. You cannot move to the next level until you obtain the first level. That's how the Bible is supposed to work, guys. Okay, you were supposed to get headaches from the Bible. We were not meant to stay in the intermediate beginning stages. You were to move on to the next levels of understanding, of awareness and enlightenment. You were not meant to stay in the beginning stages, and those are the books that went missing. The Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John were the intermediate stage of our learning spiritually, and then they were to move us on up with the books of Jesus, the books of Mary Magdalene, the books of Judah, the books of Paul, Thomas. I can go on. And these were the books that were supposed to take us to the next level of understanding. And since they were taken from us, people like me were sent to raise that vibration with the knowledge they are to put through to get you to that next level. What about birthmarks? Is it true if a certain birthmark generally there from when you killed from a past life? Yes. When my head was chopped off, I have birthmark markings. When I die, if I debate with God enough, do you think he will let me come back as a orca? Megan, it's not about debating with God. It's going back with that understanding that this is something you want to experience, and coming to that understanding that you have that choice. It's God doesn't make that decision. He allows you the free will to make that decision for yourself. Okay, let me see. I remember I was going through a really rough time with a relationship, and I passed out crying one night, and I had this dream. I was in water, and it shot me up to the sky, and I saw all these beautiful colors, and I could feel God there, and He gave me peace, and I didn't shed another tear from that situation. It was the most amazing feeling ever. Farah, that's really interesting. I kind of went through the same thing when I moved back here. I started dating a doctor, and he didn't do me very good with the relationship. And because of how I was in Florida, I kind of closed myself off and became angry with being a detective and the things I was witnessing and having to experience out there. So I started becoming angry. And I moved back here very angry. I remember that. But that relationship, I think what happened was I was bottling up so much emotion from Florida that I didn't let it out. And when he did, and I think that relation, and I do know that that relationship happened to get me to that point of releasing all that bad energy so that I could do what I'm doing now. I think if I still hanged on to it or hung on to it, I wouldn't be able to do what I do now. But I remember crying for 4 days like an idiot. And it was just coming out of me. I remember that. And I remember Eden sitting with me asking me why I was crying so much. And I think that I needed to release that old energy that I had held on to. I don't think it was so much him, but giving into a trust into somebody and opening that bottle, because I hadn't trusted anybody in 7 years before then. But opening that bottle, and I remember saying, please do something with this because I can't take it. The feelings that I had bottled up for those 7 years was coming out, and it was so overwhelming. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was horrible. And I remember falling asleep crying and waking up like a weight lifted. It lifted off of me. It was amazing. Can you explain what a soulmate and twin flame is? Patty, soulmates can be anybody from your dad, your sister, like my sister Valerie. Her and I know are soulmates. I know that sometimes we don't see eye to eye, but I still know that, you know, I've had past lives with her where we were really close, and that bond's always going to be there. She knows that, you know, that I'll be at her beck and call when she needs me, or try to be at least. Yeah, soulmates can be anywhere from your friends, your sister, your aunt, your dad. Twin flame is a little different. That's somebody that is the other half of you. It's like taking a soul and splitting it in half, and the two parts are the same of one whole. And you like the same things. You finish each other's thoughts. You know what each other's feelings are and thoughts are, even if you're like distances apart. That's what a twin flame is. But the only thing is with twin flames, they most definitely half the time do not work out. They eventually do not work out because one or the other has an ego and can't control it. And in my situation, it was the other party, not me. Is your guided meditation available for down? No. Shirley, we were having trouble with iTunes. Apparently you have to do all this hocus pocus circus crap to get onto iTunes, and I wasn't going to waste my time. I wanted to get the guided meditation out to you, so I put it through a private link so that you can use it that way. Why do I never remember my dreams, and do people dream every night? Raylan, yeah, I am told that everybody dreams every night. It might explain why half the time people wake up still extremely tired. It's because they were off doing lots of fun stuff and didn't come back to their bodies in time to rest. And if you're not remembering a dream, there's a reason for it. I believe that you are not ready to understand where you went or what you experienced, so you hold on to that through when you will be ready for it. I got a visual during the spirit guide meditation of what my guide looked like. The next day I drew a card, and it was the exact same visual of my guide. It was amazing. Candace, that's awesome. That's your guide verifying, hey, listen, it was me. It's the same thing with my car accident. I didn't believe I had a hard time with coming back and believing what I seen, and who's going to believe me, and everybody's going to think I'm nuts. And I think the first person I did actually end up telling was my sister Eve and my daughter. I sort of kind of told my daughter, but not really, because I didn't know what she would say. But I do remember telling my sister Eve about it in a car ride. And she didn't really judge me. She just wasn't aware that that happened to me, because she was there when it happened. She just didn't know that that's what was going on. I always get headaches when I read the Bible. I wonder why now. I know, thank you. Boy, yes, very, very much. Who took the books? Candace. I believe organized religions had taken the books from us. I believe dark had somehow hidden a good portion of them. Anything to not get us to rise to where we need to be. And those books are starting to emerge, thank God, through the power of God to get us to that level. He's trying all he can, even through working through his own children, like myself and others, who are trying to get the message out and get people to listen, and to not be stuck in your old ways, to understand that there is way more going on than what you're seeing in front of you. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens. Right down to a death. If you didn't make it in time for a death, there is a reason for it. You weren't meant to. You weren't meant to save that person. And blaming yourself is not going to be the answer. That person is still around you saying, I love you, and there's no forgiveness that needs to be done. I am where I am, and I'm happier for it. Almost every night I sense spirits around me, and I think one or two have been out of breath there every night. When spirit gets around me, my oxygen gets cut off, because I'm listening to what they're telling me, and I'm on a different level of communication. So I'm trying to get out what they're telling me fast enough, and I can't keep up with my oxygen. Can I guide for someone else making emotional? Can make emotional just by being around me, or are they making me feel that way for some reason? Sierra, the only thing I can think of is if I sense spirits around me. Okay, spirits. I thought you were going with a spirit guide. Spirit guides don't tend to push through emotion. They're on a logical basis of guiding you on your soul contract. Spirit pushes through emotion. And when they want to push through, holy moly. When they want to push through an emotion to get their point across, they're going to do it. And there's a reason behind it, because they're trying to get a message through. How did you fix that anger? Felicia, I think honestly it was that relationship. I opened up a part of myself that I hadn't in 7 years to someone that betrayed me, but I think in the long run he was meant to do that. I think that I had called him into this life with me to do that, because I don't think there was any other way of me breaking free from that. It had to take something drastic like that. Justin, he's sending me stuff. He's so cute. He's at work probably looking up stuff. He's such a goof. I love him. I was doing work all day today, and we had Chinese from yesterday, and he brings over a bowl of those yummy chippy things, those chips that you dip in duck sauce. He brings it over, and with a napkin, he's like, here, a little snack for you. He's just so adorable. But I think that's the only way I fix that anger, Felicia. For me, in my case, that's how it got fixed. For somebody else, it would have probably been different, just depending on what they went through. I've always been told God has a plan for my life. Okay, I'm going to stop you right there, Carol. The planning, yeah, God has a plan, okay? But you're a big part of that plan, and no matter where you're at, whether it's here, another planet, another realm, heaven, you have that free will. You're always going to have that free will that God gives you to plan, to pick, to choose, to decide. And this is because he wants you to learn. It's not us being forced to love God. It's us understanding why we do through his experiences, through his eyes, through his loving statements that he shows us through our daily life. I know what I want, and I've gotten all but one thing. How do I know if I want? what I want is God's plan. I've wanted this all my life. Carol, it's not, God gives you that free will. So if there's something that you want, it's you manifesting it and pulling it in. It's not really God saying, hey, this is either yours or not yours. I don't see it in that sense. From what I understand, he gives us that free will to choose what we want. Is it a bad thing? I can. Jennifer, I don't understand your question. The evaluations, Danielle, are student evaluations. If you feel like you have a gift, go on the website, thedivinemedium.com, go to the Mentoring Academy, and fill out the student evaluation, where we'll send you an email when we're ready to send that out, where you'll fill it out. There's about 200 questions, and once we hone in on what gift you have, then we'll take it from there. Oh, is it a bad thing I can't cry anymore? I've gone through major trauma and cried for years, but now I don't flinch. It's like I have no tears left. Jennifer, basically all I'm understanding from that is that you closed yourself off. You came to a conclusion that maybe tears are a weakness, and you're not going to allow weakness in your life. And it's understanding that with weakness we learn. So what brought you to that anger, what brought you to that crying, and understanding that this came to you through learning, and you need to learn from that event. It's not a mistake, it's not a failure, it's understanding how you got there, why you got there, and learning from it. Tina, I'm not going to address that right now. That's going to be a different session. I don't want to get into that because that tends to open up a channeling, and I don't have my people here when I do that. Like Phelan's not here for me to channel, so I'm going to hold off on that question. If someone commits suicide in this life, does that mean they committed suicide in their past lives? In some circumstances, yes, and some no. This could be the very first life that they do it. In other lives, they could have. It just depends on that soul and what they learned from it, and did they learn and try to commit. You know, say for example they had a rough life and they committed suicide. They come through the same exact life and do it again. They're still not learning. So it's up to that soul to say, okay, I had enough with that life. I'm obviously not learning from it. Maybe there's a different avenue I didn't explore that would help instead of me doing it this way. So there's just so much that goes into a life and planning it. There's so many avenues you can choose from. John, yes, I'm very aware of that connection. I've been there, done that. I don't remember my dreams, but I walk and talk in my sleep. That's funny. That just means your soul does not leave your body that far. I think sleepwalkers and talkers, they tend to be very close. They don't like to go too far away from their body. They get a little nervous about it, but they still want to learn and adventure and go on these travels, but they don't go too far. So the body reacts because the soul is so close to it. It's like a mirror image. Does the name we give our children mold them in any way? Carrie, I believe that you gave them that you were given that free will of naming your children, and yeah, I do believe in a name. It's what you make of it, you know. Okay, let me explain this. Maria's given me a very good example. There's a reason why I know so much about Jesus and why I'm so close to him, and I find it funny that my mom named me Christina because in the definition or a description of the word Christina, it says Christ-like. So I thought that was very cool. When I looked that up, I looked it up actually probably about 4 months ago. I wanted to see, and like everybody was looking up their names, and I was like, oh, I wonder what my name is. And I was kind of blown away. I was like, whoa, that couldn't have been more true. That's a little weird. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm tired. Oh my gosh, Farah, am I feeling you? Or are you feeling me? Farah just said I can't stop bloody yawning. I can't either. Oh. Hi, Sunny. I feel like I can't get enough of this learning and knowing. It's all I want to do with spare time. Guides may be guiding me very, very much. Actually, there was something I wanted to address today. And I'm not sure how people are going to take it. And I know that it's going to be a lot, but I've been going through in the last year, and I haven't really been talking about it, but it got a little intense the other day at my shop, that I know that I'm supposed to be coming out and talking about it. But how many here have heard of a stigmata, or have learned what a stigmata is? Any thumbs up on that? I'm going to scroll down to see. I'm going to scroll down a little bit to see what you guys... I just yawned before and after you. Farah. Okay. So, most of you all know. If you don't know what a stigmata is, you can, well, I actually can go into it. A stigmata is, and there's different stigmatas from what I'm understanding, because I had to look it up because I didn't know myself what the heck was going on with me. I was going to a group reading that I had done at a restaurant. We were we kind of had to take it to the house. After we did it at the restaurant, we take it to the house. And on the way to the house, this is when it first started. It was about a year ago. I started getting stabbed in underneath my right rib. And there would be a big, I'd probably say about 2 inches long of a cut in my skin that looked like a big long red line. And we started taking pictures of when this would happen, and every time this would happen, I would go into channeling and get some kind of vision about Jesus or something to that effect, of something that happened to him or something that he had gone through in his life. And it was always mainly the rib. I wouldn't get anything else. Like, there wasn't blood. Like, I thought stigmata was like, from growing up Catholic, I thought it was like bleeding out the eyes. I think some people were bleeding out the hands. There was just a whole bunch of stuff that I learned growing up about, but I really had to look it up, because I heard stigmata from one of my team members, and I was like, I wonder if my guides are trying to guide me. So I looked it up, and it's taken it to a whole new level. We actually videotaped some of it and took pictures. Oh, excuse me. And Faye's on right now. Faye was the one that was with me. And Faye, I was just filling them in on this stigmata, because I'm being, told to start talking about that. But Judy, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Let me get back to my story real quick. If you have a question, you can leave it and I can get to it in a minute. But hey, Midgie Madge. I didn't know you were on here. But anyway, so I would constantly get the rib, and the rib kind of started dying down after I started channeling Mary Magdalene and started talking to my team through her. And then just when we were going through this whole thing with Jesse Campbell and the whole scamming thing, that we thought he was scamming us, or we know he was scamming us, I was coming to this vibration. It was a very low vibration where I felt very hurt, very deceived, very lied to. And I was having a lot of trouble that I couldn't stop crying over it. Like, I would find myself in the shower very upset. And I was coming to this, like, mind frame, like, why am I helping? Why am I doing this when I'm hurting everybody by one person doing something? Like, I felt like everybody got hurt in the whole gist of it. Not just me, you know what I mean? So I was feeling hurt because I felt like I hurt everybody in the domino effect of letting this man do this and allowing contributors to donate to him. And I should have been wiser with it. I mean, I should have taken it as a big red flag when I was trying to make the GoFundMe, and it was not letting me. I tried it 12 to 13 different times, and it was not letting me create. It was like my guide saying no, no, no. And I wasn't listening, and I should have. So, no, it wasn't yesterday. It was Saturday. I was going to take off and Phelan decided, you know, let's address this whole Jessie thing, come in and we'll deal with it. So I did. I came in, I cried a little bit more on her, and right after she got done talking to the, you know, talking to Jessie on the phone and getting all that situated, I was in the middle of talking to her about something, and I was on the computer doing something, and all of a sudden I feel this, it felt like a jolt to my left foot, like my left foot was being nailed into the ground or into the shop floor. And I kept seeing visions, and I don't have it with me right now, but I can draw it out of what I was seeing. Now, I grew up being told that he was nailed to with these, you know, the thin nails. I don't know if you guys remember the real thin, long nails. But I was shown, let me see if I can, it was a lot longer than this, but my main point is this topper. It was a round top, and it was black and gray and silver all at one tone, and it was real rustic, bubbly, like you could tell it was handmade. I don't know how they made it, but it was really long. But the point was this bubble topper. It was like a round bubble topper, and that was what was going into my left foot. Now I was moving my right foot around, so I wasn't getting anything in my right foot. I was in so much pain. I was buckled over, and the next thing I know, like 10 minutes in, I get jabbed again right into my right, underneath my right rib. And Maria I was being told to take my boot off. So Phelan took my boot off. We took my sock off. And she said that, oh, wow, there's a mark. Like a nail went through your foot. And you can see the round topper being embedded in the top of my foot. And there was a small pinpoint going through it. Like a nail had gone through it. And I kept getting told, I kept asking Maria in my head while all this was going on, I thought they were skinny, I thought they were skinny. I kept repeating, I thought they were skinny, I thought they were skinny. She said, no, how would he be hanging with thin nails? And I'm like, oh my God, how does like logically, he would have fell down. He would have like meat would have just slid off these skinny nails. They would have had to have been big like that. Like, it just makes sense now. So, Barbara, Haley wants to join your mentoring group. If you go to Mentoring Medium on Facebook, she can join that way, or go on the website, thedivinemedium.com, and go to the Mentoring Academy, and she can fill out the evaluation there. So I was in a lot of pain. I actually was limping the rest of the day, even when I got home. And I don't like lying to Justin. And I do try to not like divulge too much to him, because he's still at that level of trying to understand what I do, and I don't want to over bombard him because he's not ready for it. But I did tell him the truth, like, you know, hey, do you know what stigmata is? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, you know, I'm limping and I'm in a lot of pain because this happened today. And he didn't really have any comment. He just was like, oh, okay. Like, he knows I don't like lying to him. So, and I have a feeling it's not going to be the last time it happens. So anyway, so that happened, and that's what I'm kind of going through. But what's leading me to get to this, and it's, last night I kept getting, the best way I can describe it, downloaded with like information. Like, for example, I was told that there's another pyramid that isn't been found yet. The pyramid, I feel like a part of it's sticking up under some like field or sand or something. It's underneath, and a part of it's sticking up, and they're going to find it. I don't know when. And then sorry, I'm listening, and my phone's blowing up as well. But the point is, so this pyramid's going to be found, and the funny thing is, under these pyramids, there's a system of information that's to awaken us, and then the Sphinx. that was found on its one, or behind its one ear, is a switch that's, if turned on, will put an awakening all through Earth, through humankind, to understand who they are, like the awakening of not almost like all-knowing, but it's like a type of all-knowing vibration. And like I said, everybody would be above that 2%. Where you're at now is like a 0.2, 0.3, and you're raising up to that 2 or 3, 4%. Okay, there's a lot of information. I wrote it down because I knew I was going to start forgetting it. So let me pull that up so that I can get the information out. It was like I was like literally being downloaded with a ton of information. Let me see. I gotta find it. Give me a minute. Well, I typed it out. I didn't write it out. I typed it out. Okay. Okay, so I started getting remembrance of who I am on my planet, Kalinian. There's a galactic system underneath the pyramids, and in one pyramid, certainly in one of the pyramids, the one that's hidden, has a lot of system logic, how do I want to explain it? It has a system that links to several things, and it's like an awakening. I hope I'm saying this right, Lumerian are very real, but they didn't learn what they were supposed to, and they died out very quickly. This has to go back to the Atlantis and Lumerian. God does not go by his name of God. That was another thing that God downloaded last night to me. Our guides communicate from an outer ridge or edge of the surface of heaven. It's a level of heaven where they stand or they linger on the outer ridges of the surface. Education has put humans to sleep. As children, we are put into robot status by the education system, and instead of allowing us to show what we already were born to know, we are put into these strategic school lessons where the teacher where we are the robots or computers, and the teacher is putting in or downloading into and pushing the keyboard. We come to volunteer, but we are the ones dealing with the real fight here. I also got the Trump wins, and in 1 year time we will start to see an alien ancestry tap down on Earth. They will feel like family to us, and we will have instant memory of who they are inside their physical form of costumes. Children's imagination is meant to keep the veil of who we are alive. In the midst of 100, there are 10 to 20 alien beings who have volunteered to come help us awaken from this. Most scientists won't publicly admit that our DNA has been added to, but they are aware of its existence, but they are too scared to talk about it. So like I said, there's a lot more that I haven't written down. I think you got spirit going. Yeah, anytime I talk about, you know, what's going on with me, yeah, stuff gets funky. Oh, Janine, that's okay. You have a good night. Okay, so, yeah, now, there is something else I want to discuss. Oh my goodness. I'm getting trained too, guys. I'm getting trained too. Okay. So there is, Jimmy, you must be on the same wavelength as me, because I was just going to talk about the Martians that are on our Earth. The Russian boy channeled this also. I just read that today. Profound. Yeah, Jimmy, yeah, Martians are here. They are, from what I'm understanding, besides the Palladians, they have tapped down and are in physical, I like to call it physical costume, because these are just costumes we wear here, guys. This is only temporary. Once this dies, our soul energy moves on. Farah, stop making me yawn, man. You're killing me. So yeah, so the Martians are the next ones that are going to start pushing out information. They started with the little boy, but I'm getting information that there's a girl and 2 other little boys. I don't know if they're little, but I'm getting their energy being little. But I feel like some of them are going to start coming to the woodwork, coming to the surface, and talking about what they know. There is just so much stuff that is getting, the best way I can describe it is downloading. Like, there's no other way I would come up with this stuff unless it was coming to me in some form. And I feel like when I'm sleeping, and the funny thing is I don't feel like I'm sleeping because I feel like I'm tossing and turning all night, and I know I get frustrated and mad because I'm not sleeping, but I really am, because how else are they giving me all this information? But yeah, I do feel within a few years' time, whether it be 1 or 2, we are going to see more and more alien in costume form coming forth to the surface and tapping down on our Earth and saying, listen, this is how things should be. This is how it's supposed to be. People are going to get sick and tired of other people hurting other people. Honestly, Amanda, I got from my guides that he was getting overwhelmed with people. He didn't want to be in a limelight. He felt uncomfortable with it. He basically just wanted to get the information out and not have to be on TV. And you're going to see a lot of these alien being volunteers like myself. I don't mind it. Maybe that's just in me. Maybe they instilled it in me because my mission is a little different. I don't, like, for example, I did the pilot for my TV show, and I honestly, when I think about it, I don't want to do the TV show. I feel like it's too much drama. I feel like the media is not going to portray what I need to get out properly. I'd rather do like a documentary or a biography. Something to that effect where it's not dramatized into some kind of media frenzy weirdness. Yeah, Francis, the only thing is they don't believe in our government and how they do things. So if anything, they would be doing the opposite of what our government is doing. Yeah, what's going on? Okay. Your speech isn't matching your mouth. Media dramatizes everything. I don't know. I think I'll wait a minute for the live feed to catch up. Is everybody getting weird stuff now still? It's gonna be the energy, guys. It's definitely gonna be the energy that I'm dealing with tonight. It's a little overwhelming. So, yeah, when you do have a child that young, you are going to find that they have a lot of knowledge about another species. Carrie, yes, this awareness is supposed to lead to a new, you know, as they talk in the Bible, a new earth or a new heaven. It's supposed to lead us to that vibration. Okay, good, guys. I'm glad the feed's good on your ends. I think, I don't know, the energy's a little weird tonight. I can feel it, and the reason I can feel it is because I can't keep up with my breath. That's usually the first sign, or I get the burps really bad like I am now, because it's just overwhelming. Teresa, no, I did not see that question. Our government doesn't want us to be enlightened. No, they do not, because enlightenment would lead them out of office. We would be the ones taking over our own destinies in that sense. Not so much our life destinies, but the destiny of this earth. I'm so drained and tired. Have a good night, everyone. You too, Midge. Carrie, I do too. I hope it comes to that as well. Is there a certain hour at night where things come out more? Alexandra, right around 3 or 4 in the morning, you're going to see a heightenedness, and then it starts to die down around 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, Jennifer. But yeah, I know that I'm going to be pushing out more information. I feel like something's happening. I feel like I was supposed to go through a lot of negative trials in the last couple months between Justin and myself, to better prepare me for what's coming. A lot of people don't understand how the whole alien volunteering thing works. And it's basically like this. If this is heaven, we are energy based, and say for example you came to Earth, you wanted to do your mission there, so you have to put on the costume that is allowed for this Earth to work with that vibration. So you put on the costume, make it look pretty, make it look the way you want to, and then for example when you pass, you say, okay, I had enough of learning on Earth, maybe I want to go to Polenia or Kalenia, and you put on that costume to do that mission with how they do things on their world. That's how it works. Same thing with the Martians. Martians are very, very large beings. They are very, very low below the surface. They do not work off of oxygen. They work off a carbon type based gas to get through their Earth and live off that as we do with our oxygen. I have been having Mary or Mother Mary in my thoughts more and more each day. Could this be one of my guides or something she is trying to tell me? I'm not getting... Oh, excuse me. Phew. Okay. I am not getting guide with you, Teresa. I'm getting more something else. Maybe you can stop in the shop and we can go over it more. Martin, no, you cannot sell your soul. It doesn't belong. It doesn't belong to you to sell. It belongs to God. He was the creator. It's kind of like this. Say, for example, you painted a picture. You were the creator of that picture. No one can claim it except you, because they didn't create it. For years I had a dream over and over. Where was I? Standing outside with my arms spread out, and I was looking up at the sky, and this huge burst of white energy was shooting to the sky out of my head. Could this have anything to do with... Actually, Robin, I'm getting more of where the direction of that light was going. Yeah, it's a type of enlightenment, but not what you're thinking. I'm thinking more alien. Where in the sky was it pointing? If you can remember looking up and seeing where in the sky it was pointing, then we can go from there. Totally off topic, but if I wanted you to evaluate my daughter who is 7, would I fill out the same evaluation from... Carrie, what location are you in? Because you might just be able to pull her into the shop and I could do it that way. But if you're far, yeah, you would have to do the evaluation form. That would make it easier on us. Okay, could this change be why I feel this overwhelming pull towards this? Candace, it very well could be, but we also have, you also have to understand, we are right now in a state of a light lift of the veil. So people are going to start experiencing some negativity, and there's a reason for it, okay? Because they're trying to prepare us for what's coming. So if we can deal with the negative crap going on right now, we'll be able to deal with the negative crap that's coming on a better sense. Let me see, hold on. I just missed her thing. Do you believe in angel numbers? Yes, I do, but they're not from your angels, they're from your guides. So whenever you do look up those numbers, always switch out angel for guide, because it's going to be your guides guiding you. Any tips for me to see spirits? Martin, that's going to be an evaluation thing to help you with your gift. Is it because I'm making my own decisions now? I don't know where your question's going with that. You might want to elaborate. I don't know if you asked a question before that and I'm not getting it. Oh, so you're in PA. Okay, Carrie, you can definitely call the shop, 814-254-4523. I am going to put that number up. And that number is the shop number. That's going to be the shop number where you can call and get her in for the evaluation. I just had a little blue light in the corner of my room. Georgie, that's okay. That's going to be an angel, and he goes by the name of Raphael, okay? So no worries. He's just there to protect the information coming through to you. How much do you charge for a child evaluation? Barb, I don't charge for evaluations. Only if you want to elaborate on the first original one to work on your gifts. Is there a significant meaning for crows or falcons? It could be. It just depends on if it's a spirit, a loved one coming through to try to give you a sign that they're around, or is it your guide trying to give you a message, because anything with birds means message. Just depends on the definition of what a crow represents or what a falcon represents. A falcon, to me, is strength, and crows come to me as negativity and ridding negativity. Are the numbers also activations? They can be if you absorb the message from them. Once you absorb that message, then yeah, you kind of vibrate at that message. So you are raising your vibration and activating that knowledge. So yeah, that's very well, yes. Why does it almost feel like being paralyzed in a way when spirits try to communicate? Has happened a few times to me. Alexandria, because they want you to stand still and listen. Figure out how many times it's happening, because if you're not, I find that it happens sometimes. It hasn't happened in a long time, basically because I'm listening better to when I'm in the midst of a reading. But before I would feel paralyzed because they wanted me to pay attention to what they were doing to my body or what messages was coming through. They wanted me to sit still and pay attention. Can guides hug you or just loved ones? Actually, they both can. Yeah, I don't get guides doing it too much, but definitely loved ones, yes. I am feeling a lot of nervousness. Is it because I'm making my own decisions now? As opposed to having someone else make those decisions for you, you could be feeling nervous. Very well could be feeling nervous because you are afraid of making the wrong decision. And in that sense, you're really not. You're making your own destiny. So there is no failure. There is no mistake. You're simply learning. No matter what you're doing, what decision you make, you're learning. You're taking that back with you. I have the same question with Carol. Am I wondering if I have gifts that I just don't know about? Rochelle, it's very well that you could have gifts that you're not aware of, that maybe you had when you were little and you kind of blocked growing older. Not simply, I mean, the evaluation, I don't know how it's going to take for you, because, I mean, everybody's going to answer different. And the questions are almost 200. There's almost 200 questions. So it's taking your time in answering those. But yeah, it's not going to take much to answer the questions. So yeah, just go ahead and fill that valuation out on the website under the Mentoring Academy. Is there a way to attract people to be friends with in real life? I have a hard time communicating. Jaina, I had this problem in school. I had a hard time. I wanted people to like me, so I would go out of my way to make them or help them to like me or show them that I was nice. Always backfired half the time on me, because I guess I was a little too nice. And it came off like I was weird. I don't know. But if you want that type of life where you have people in your life, like you want to communicate better, it's just simply, excuse me, I'm going to yawn again. It's simply, and I think I'm wearing a lot of people out. Everybody's like, I'm tired, I'm bouncing out, I'm going to bed. I'm gonna have to get there soon. We've been talking about a lot of stuff and it's pulling in a lot of energy. a lot of energy that needs protected. The more energy the more information that I pull in, the more it has to be protected. So the more energy is going to be getting pulled for that protection. But Jana, it's just, honestly, I'm going to suggest something. There's some crystals that help with communication, like chrysoprase or chrysocolla. They are two great communication crystals to have in your pocket to kind of open that up for you. We have a chakra candle called the Throat. It's blue. Any type of clothing that you wear that's blue will open you to communicating better. But that candle's amazing from what I've heard. I haven't used it yet. I use the third eye one, so I like the third eye one. When very ill, woke to a Native American Indian who glowed blue from the inside out. He had a hand over my stomach and a hand laid underneath my leg. Who was this being and his name? Fawn, I can't answer that. Guys, your personal experiences with your guides, that's between you and them. I'm not to answer those. Those are going to be personal experiences with your guides. That's going to be between you and them. Why don't you ask him who he was? And I bet you'd be surprised by his answer. Ask his name and ask him. And the answer to why he was there is simple. He was trying to help you get through being sick. That's simple. When I do healings, I can look over and see Jesus standing right there with me helping do a healing, or look over and see an angel standing there helping me do a healing. It's simply that. It's just they want to help. Okay, I'm so over yawning and making you yawn. I'm going to bed. I'm worn out and need my beauty sleep. If you yawn after I leave, it's not my fault. All right, Farah. I'm actually going to be heading out here too. I'm going to give it about 3 more minutes. But I'm getting closed off now, guys. I'm getting drained. I'm going to have to head to bed. But I have a couple things I got to get done before I do. Business. It's always business. I can't take it. It's just always business. Like for example, we're going to be taking the shop up. So I'm going to be looking for not a reader so much, but maybe a tattoo artist in my town that's looking for an opening to do their work. Monica, if you have a question, go ahead and ask it. I'm not ready to leave yet. But I'm also, Jana, thank you, honey. You are too. Francis, if you're trying to find energy to move on, I would go with an amethyst. Amethyst is awesome, or a sunstone to give you bursts of energy to move forward. But amethyst is a great healing from grief. It's a great stone. But anyway, we are taking the shop up because there's an add-on to the shop that is open for me to start renting, and there's rooms. So I'm looking for anybody that does massage therapy, who maybe does astrology, maybe does palm reading. I'm not looking for a medium reader because that's what I do downstairs. And my office is actually going to be upstairs, but we want to make it a all-around holistic center. So I am looking for people that want to fill those roles and work in the shop with us. So anybody in town, if you're getting this message, definitely send them our way, and we will do interview with them. Okay? So guys, I am so tired. I think that energy healing really wiped me out. So I'm exhausted. You guys have been amazing, and I hope that you guys got a lot of healing and a lot of wisdom from tonight. But definitely get some good night's sleep. Fawn, our location, I'm going to put it up. It's 165 Village Street, Johnstown, PA 15902. And that is the shop address. You guys are welcome. Amanda, why don't I have you run that shop if we go up that way? Well, inbox me. We'll figure something out there. That'd be fun. Don't know if you saw my question before. I kept seeing number 11. Donna, 11 means paying attention to your thoughts, keeping them positive, not negative. So anytime you start to see that number, kind of go back to what the heck was I just talking about? Or what was I just thinking about? And pay attention to if you're thinking more negative and they're trying to give you a heads up of more positive, positive, positive. Think positive. Don't say, I wish I had. Say, I am going to have. Change the way you think. I'm feeling the divine feminine was further anchored in over the last couple of days. Do you get that also? Janelle, I think the feminine, divine feminine has been anchored over us for going on a year or two now. We are definitely getting into a more feminine age. If you noticed how men and women have been switching roles. And if you can remember, that is actually in the Bible. It was predicted that men and women would switch roles. The men would be more sensitive and the women would become more of leaders and more dominant in their nature. Okay, so okay, so I love you guys. I was just reading more comments. You guys are awesome. You guys are fabulous. Fabulous. And I love you, and I cannot wait for Tuesday. We will be revealing tomorrow who is going to be at our tea party on Tuesday. I'm excited for this. We're going to have a roundabout of girls, and we're going to sit there and discuss stuff and talk. It's going to be fun. Have I seen Jesus? Yes, I have, Martin. I have walked here on earth with him, and I am a little closer than what you think I am to him. I have not revealed that to too many people yet, and I am not ready to, even though my team keeps screaming out about it. My team is very ready to tell everybody who I am, because they've seen it firsthand, who I am. So, I love you guys, and I will see you soon, and I cannot wait for Tuesday's tea party. Come and join us. It's going to be so much fun. I love you guys, and I gotta go to bed before I do some business. I'm going to bed. Okay, I love you guys. I will see you Tuesday.